Joe Budden, back to being a podfather, back to being one of the top architects in the podcast space. I remember when Queenz Flip came to the Joe Budden podcast. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit confused. I didn't understand where he would fit in. I didn't understand quite how he would fit in, but I'm seeing now the vision that Joe Budden had for Queenz Flip, all right, in the last couple episodes. Now, I don't know. I think this wasn't the newest episode. This was the one before the newest episode. Queenz Flip and Ish get into a heated argument. And I'm here to tell y'all, this is exactly what Joe Budden wanted. What you about to see, the clip that you about to see, is the reason Joe Budden brought Queenz Flip onto the show. Now, when the summer first started, it was a lot of comments. It was a lot of people on the JBTV community, the Twitter that I'm on, or X profile that I'm on now. Chig Smooth, The Stop with Danny. Y'all go check out those platforms. Those are a lot of good places to get information about the Joe Budden podcast. Also the spaces, the Joe Budden podcast spaces. It's a lot there too. But it was a lot going on as far as the quality of the Joe Budden podcast. A lot of the fans on those platforms in the comments, they weren't happy with the quality of the podcast. They felt like a lot of people wasn't talking. A lot of people weren't giving it up. You know what I'm saying? That's the terminology that Joe Budden uses when he wants you to say how you really feel. He wants you to chime in on a conversation. Don't be politically correct all the time. Don't be politically correct all the time. And that's something that we've seen consistently from Ice, Melissa Ford. Parks has always been that way. You know what I'm saying? And the discussion that we about to watch, that we about to take a look at this clip. It's about a 3-minute, 46-second clip where Ish and Queenz Flip are going back and forth about this particular narrative. All right, and Joe Budden is gonna agree. You're gonna see they're gonna kind of agree with Ish, and I gotta agree with him too. When the podcast first started, Joe Budden kind of put pressure on Ish to not be so cool, not be so laid back. That same type of thing that he did to Mal, the same type of thing he did to Mal. Now, in my opinion, this podcast has not reached that quality yet. It hasn't reached the quality of when Rory and Mal was there. It's on its way. But let's take a look at, or hopefully it's on its way, but let's take a look at this exchange between Queenz Flip and Ish. Again, this is why Joe Budden brought Queenz Flip on. When Joe is not screaming and yelling, this is what Queenz Flip does.
Nigga, you went to a concert with your friends and you didn't show them your peoples. I did the same thing. Me and you are similar.
Let me know.
If I'm somewhere where they at and I'm with my family, I'm not going.
How many times you brought up my uncle on this podcast? How many times you brought up my father on this podcast? How many times you brought up my baby mother on this podcast?
Never brought your baby mother.
You're fucking lying.
Never brought your baby mother.
You are lying.
Never. Your baby mother.
Stop. Let's not scream. Let's have
your baby mother. Too late. I brought up your baby mother, nigga. Me,
bro.
Your baby mom.
I want to speak.
Oh, you talking about what I said with the living part?
Bro, I want to speak.
Good.
We said that our personal shit on this podcast. Personal stuff.
True.
We don't know nothing about you outside. Let me talk. You married. You got kids. You from Queens. You got into a little bit of mischief when you was young.
And your kid is your cameraman.
Right? That's the gist of what we know about you.
Okay.
Ice is a good dad. Puts his daughter first.
So you trying to say I'm not a good? Why you put good dad there, nigga?
Holy shit!
Why you put good dad? What you talking about? I want my son all the time, nigga. What you talking about?
No, what's wrong with this guy? Ice. We know Ice is a good dad. He been inside when he was young, whatever the case may be. We don't really know much about Ice. Imani just got here, but Imani is to share a lot about himself.
True.
Parks, we know that Parks is married.
Yes.
He grew up uptown. He's a music head. I mean, not uptown, upstate. And he's a music head and he's married. Melissa, we know a little bit of stuff about Melissa, but Melissa holds a lot of her personal stuff to the chest.
Yeah.
Nigga, y'all go about me what y'all know about me.
Don't.
I don't even gotta say it.
Listen,
Nigga, I've given more of my personal stories up here than any nigga up here outside of Joe Budden.
That's not true.
I don't agree, bro.
How?
Here's what I know about you. I know you. You asked.
You know mad shit about me?
I'm watching the pod.
Thank you. Y'all niggas is in fucking denial, my nigga.
I'm agreeing with you.
What do we know about him? That you got arrested, nigga, and for child support? That's what we know. That was supposed to.
That's not all we know.
That's what we talked about, nigga.
There was a viral clip that went around.
All right, cool.
We've made my white girlfriend the subject of the world. Nigga, he sold 2 separate episodes based on me and my bitch. Niggas don't
white girlfriend.
Yo, shut up, yo. Shut up, yo.
Niggas don't know about what?
Shut up, yo. Niggas don't know nothing about nobody up here more than Antoine Barbie.
Nobody knows nothing about you in your personal business. It's not true.
Right.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I know
you have 2 children, 2 daughters.
Flip is trolling right now.
He's
What are you
right.
talking about?
Agree before he started, but he's making.
He's
What are
right.
you talking
He's
about?
right.
I'm not ready to say
Nigga, I
that, but
sold drugs. I've been to jail. Niggas know about me up here. Y'all niggas hide yourselves.
No, we talking about personal business.
What the fuck is that? Not personal?
Shit that you share, bro. You're sharing these things, so we're just bringing it back up.
I'm agreeing with you.
What's that shit called?
I'm agreeing with you.
What's that shit called when you bring it?
I wish they get back at
I'm agreeing with you.
I think they might
I
have
can't
a point,
scream
but
over them, so I don't want to scream over because I think he's wrong.
He's
But I
not
don't want to scream
smoking.
over.
He's not
I don't want to scream
smoking.
over.
Anything that we talk
Y'all go
about
ahead.
is not private. Anything that we talk about, he has mentioned it up here.
Hold on. Before Flip go and before you go, I'm just throwing this in real quick and I'm getting the fuck out of here. In your points that you're making, you are saying you have volunteered these things versus us bringing it up, or it don't matter?
Both. Whether we bring them up.
We brought up your own.
No, because some of the things I have volunteered and some of them I have not volunteered. Nonetheless, they are all public fodder now that are about me on this show, whereas the average person on this show and the average co-host on this show still remains a mystery to the public.
It's your very secretive.
The mystery is going to be fired.
I'm secret.
Okay, did y'all see how he said if you remain a mystery, you're gonna be fired? That's how the conversation started. All right, that's how the conversation started. And listen, man, this is great podcasting right here. I think this is great podcasting. This is top tier podcasting. And Joe Budden plan is working perfectly. Joe Budden plan is working to a T. Queenz Flip is even a little bit trolling when he said those are things that you shared. When he was talking to Ish saying those are things that you shared, bruh, that's still personal information. It's still personal information, and Queenz Flip knows that that's what Joe Budden means when he says he wants people to talk more. He wants people to talk about their personal lives more, whether it's something that the co-host bring up or whether it's something that the individual brings up. It's still personal information being put out into a podcast that gets millions of views. All right, regardless if the person brought it up or not. So Queenz Flip is smart, man. He's trolling. That exchange right there, he knows that's what Joe Budden likes. He understands that will save his job. And I don't know if Joe Budden really is gonna fire anybody on the podcast. Joe Budden can't just be firing people. After this Rory and Mal thing, if he does decide to fire somebody, he needs a lot of solid evidence in order to do it. Or he's gonna look kind of shaky in the public eye. But the way that Queenz Flip is handling this, the way that Queenz Flip is trying to jumpstart the pod and bring the energy, the screaming and yelling, that type of conversation, all right, nobody else on the podcast is going to have the conversation in that way. The way that Queenz Flip had it, with that type of energy, with that type of tone. Nobody else will have that conversation that way. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. If Joe Budden brought that to the table, they will have a conversation about it. But Queenz Flip is going to put the extra on it. All right, he's going to put the extra on it, and that's just what we see, man. But I want y'all to get in the comments, man. What do y'all think about the future of the Joe Budden podcast? I feel like Queenz Flip is basically going to be Mike B, from a standpoint of holding the other co-host accountable. Now that could be awkward if he doesn't share more of himself. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Queenz Flip has the personality to be the B Mike. Right now, B Mike goes between Ice and Ish and Flip. They all kind of three share that, depending on what the topic is. You know what I'm saying? And they all know that Joe wants everybody to contribute more. But y'all get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. What is the future of the Joe Budden podcast? Is Ish versus Queenz Flip? Is this real? Or, you know, and I know it's not gonna neither of them is gonna hurt each other. I'm not saying that, but I kind of feel like they really have a little bit of tension. And I think when Joe Budden watched No Jumper and he seen how Adam kind of instigated and created a little bit of tension between co-hosts, even though Joe Budden talked about how bad that was, he took notes. Joe Budden took notes, and he's doing that now, but he's doing it on a much safer, more classier level. Adam, of course, has a lot of gang members on his show, so when they beef, it's different. All right, but Joe Budden, the mastermind that he is, the strategic thinker that he is probably going to lead to a higher quality podcast, and I'm here for it. I didn't think this would work this way. You know what I'm saying? When you have two smart, intelligent dudes, articulate dudes, they can beef because they're smart enough not to take it too far, man. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Urban Artificial Intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.